What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Juice, man.
Yeah.
Man, I already know that y'all kind of know what this episode is going to be about.
Yeah. Well, I think it took us 10 minutes after the Facebook post, and you and I were on the phone. We're like, when can we get to Captain Ron's? We got some stuff to talk about.
Yes, we do. For those of you that do not know, which I'm sure most of you do, that especially the people that follow along the podcast, Bassmaster laid a bombshell of a post on Facebook announcing that the only way to get to the Elite Series is now through 9 to fish all 9 opens next season, and they're taking the top 9 in points.
Yeah, definitely a shift in the way it worked before. Maybe we should start with that, how it worked before. So there's 3 divisions in the opens, and traditionally to qualify for the elites. Well, this year, let's just take this year for example, because it's kind of changed actually a little bit every year.
Yeah, it has a little bit.
This format's kind of stayed the same. So from each division this year, they are taking the top 3 in points, and then you have an overall for the guys that participate in all 3 divisions, so 9 events, and they're going to take 3 from that.
Correct.
They also take, if you are registered and fish all 3 of one division and you win an event, you gain a berth to the Classic.
Correct.
That is no longer the case.
That is not the case anymore, and I'm sure as most of you have seen, the Facebook, Instagram, all social media platforms, just word of mouth has been everywhere about this, whether it's positive, whether it's negative. And I think kind of what we want to get into is just kind of, I guess, the facts of it. Just kind of talk about maybe dispel some of the things that are going around. I don't want to just say dispel, but talk about some of the positive and negatives. Kind of look at it from both ways.
Yeah. Try to be objective about it. I mean, I don't know how many people you've talked to. I talked to a couple people. Daryl Gleason, who's currently an Elite Series Pro. He's fished the Opens for, what Daryl say when he was here on our show, like 8 or 10 years.
Yeah,
quite a while. So he's very familiar with the Opens format. Talked to some other people other friends we have in the industry, and just trying to keep an open mind. And matter of fact, we just sat down for lunch, and we both kind of said, maybe we keep going on both sides of the fence. My initial reaction was negative, as I think a lot of people was. If you look at their Facebook comments, I think the first 60 comments in the first half hour were negative. Mm-hmm. But there's been some positive sides. So that's what we're going to try to do in this episode, just kind of break down, look at it from all angles, and hopefully have something to take away from it.
Yeah, as you just alluded to, my first reaction was negative. Now that I've seen a lot of guys comment, even you alluded to Daryl Gleason, but some guys of that stature, some current Elite Series pros, and got a few opinions from those guys, and just other pros in the industry, and then the Opens guys. It kind of, I did a poll. I want to talk about this real quick. I did a poll on my Instagram story. It's just my Instagram story. And I just said, is this a good decision by Bassmaster? And it just said yes or no. Now, the poll did end up, it was over 200 votes, which I was kind of shocked. I didn't think that many people would even
You're a popular guy.
I didn't even look at my story. But it was a popular subject. I think that's the main thing. And I had over 200 votes on it. It was 68-32. 68% no, 32% yes.
Negative reaction.
Definitely a negative reaction, but I didn't even know this until I looked. It shows me who voted what. So I got to see that. So when I started going through the negatives, I kind of noticed not a common theme, but I noticed a theme about some of the people voting, as well as the positives. It kind of shocked me. A lot of the yes came from like pros.
Yeah.
Opens guys that really do it. A lot of the no's came from people that don't even do it. They don't even fish it,
or not yet, or may want to.
Yeah, and that is true. But they have no prior experience. You know what I mean? It's just,
sure.
It kind of made me start thinking, and then, like I said, some of the comments stuff I read. But my initial reaction was negative, and because the first thing I thought was, man, you just cut a lot of guys out. Like you cut a lot of working class. That seems to be a word going around right now.
That's kind of the weekender, the working class guy, the guy chasing the big dream.
Yep.
And I think it will to an extent, right? Guys that can only afford to fish one division, but they've been doing it for forever how long, trying to chase that dream. I can only afford to fish one division, but just maybe I'll have a great year and I'll qualify and figure out how to go and fish at that level.
Yep. And maybe that's a good thing to say there. It's not that because I keep seeing the money deal. It's like I keep seeing the argument saying if you can't afford to fish all 9 opens, what makes you think you can afford to fish all 9 of the Elite Series events? Not a terrible point, but I don't think some of the guys that fish just one division, some of it has nothing to do with money. Like, it's just time.
Well, yeah, time's a great way to do it too, and because a lot of these guys are, most of them, I would assume, are employed. So you're talking time. You bring up the time point. You got guys that got to take off work. Taking off work for 3 events, and for those of you that want to fish opens or have or haven't, I mean, a lot of these guys will tell you, you can't. This isn't a bass champs where you go sign up the night before the tournament and go fish it. I mean, there might be some people out there that compete like that, but this is something that is going to require, a solid week, solid 7 days. And that's even pushing a lot of these guys, and I've done it. When I went to Pickwick, I went 7 days before the event. I gave myself some extra practice days because of rain, weather, whatever. You just want to have a little buffer, but, not everybody's in a position to take that much time off of work.
I'd say a lot of the guys probably don't get as much practice time as some other guys, if that makes sense.
For sure.
Because of the everybody's in such a different situation. So you see a lot of these opinions coming from their own situations, and that's perfectly fine. But I do kind of want to touch on that. I don't know that it's necessarily the money thing. It 100% is the money thing. Let me just go ahead and tell
expensive.
You. To fish all 9,
$16,200.
$16,200.
Entry fees alone.
So you're, man, 9 events. And
I wish we knew the schedule. I would have done the math on mileage.
9 events, and I don't know. I'm thinking at least if you do 2,000 and cost an event, and that's not going to cut it.
Not if gas prices stay where they are.
It's just not going to cut it. 2,000, 9 times 2 is 8. That's an extra 18. That's just 8. That's 18 on top of 16, dude. That's a lot of money. And so I'm not saying that it's not a lot of money at all, but I think, and that is a good point. If you can't afford to do all 9 opens, maybe you should look and see if you could afford the elites. But with that being said, I think time is the biggest issue. We're talking about 9 events here. That is a freaking haul, dude.
It's a full-time gig. I mean, how many Elite Series events are there? 9.
9.
That's a full professional series.
Correct. And I think what Bassmaster's point in doing this is for that reason. They want to get these guys Elite Series ready. Or really bring out the guys, let the cream rise to the top of who is actually elite ready. Who's elite ready? Because I've seen some of the, I mean, you were just talking about this. I've seen some comments saying, it's not going to bring out the best. It's just going to bring out the richest. Well, I'm just going to go ahead and dispel that real quick.
Yeah, I don't agree with that argument.
And let's say you fish an open, and this is going to be true. They're 100%. There's going to be some guys that have money that go and fish all 9.
Sure.
But the top 9 in points, I'm talking about the top 9 guys that get to actually go to the elites. I promise you, they're legit. I promise you.
You have to be.
I promise you, they're not. And maybe they will. Maybe some of them will have money. Maybe that's the case, but they earned it. Whoever it is, money, no money, wherever you came from, it doesn't matter. The top 9 in points from that overall deal, I promise you, they earned it. So that's kind of a. I just want to go back to Bassmaster. What is the point in them doing this? Okay, I'm trying to look at it from their point of view, and that is the biggest reason right there. I think they see guys coming to the Elite Series just not ready. And you see it a lot, man, and it's really, it kind of hurts. Like, these guys spend years in the opens and maybe just fishing one division, and they get through in their division, and they get to the elites, and you're talking 9 different places all across the country. You're talking all different techniques. You're talking different species of bass. I mean, you're talking
you take our division, the Centrals.
Yeah.
How many times have you and I ever been up north and fished a smallmouth tournament?
I've never in my
life.
in my life.
Probably be a little learning curve there.
It would be a huge learning
humbling experience. So I see that argument.
I see why that's Bass's argument.
Yeah, I'd love to get a statement from them. And we talked. There's an Elite Series event going on. Wyatt and I talked about maybe getting Ronnie Moore or somebody from Bass to come in and comment for us. But obviously, with that event going on, that's not going to happen right now.
Yeah.
But I'd love to at least get some, and I'm sure they will, just because of I think a lot of the negative press are going to have to address it and just come out and say, look, this is our motive.
Yeah.
So speaking of motive. So they're bringing in 12 this year. This will be the last year they're bringing in 12. 3 from each division, 3 from the overall. That's 12. So
12
there's
numbers.
currently 90 in the field of elites. Is that what we came up with?
Yeah.
So that's a little more than a 10% turnover. I think they're trying to keep their numbers low. I think, there's been some rumors that they're trying to get down to 80 guys or 90 guys. I know talking with some of the elites now, they're trying to get their numbers down, which is good for coverage. I mean, once you make it to the elites, you're not battling for coverage and exposure.
Yep.
But if they're really just trying to keep their turnover down to 10%, they got 90 guys, it's 9. So I think there's a little motivation there. We can't keep taking 12 guys and kicking 12 guys out.
Yeah.
We got to find
So this is part of their plan in doing that and decreasing.
Just a theory.
It is a theory, but I think you're right. I mean, it makes sense because they do want to decrease the field. I think for multiple reasons, like the one you already alluded to, of course. But I think the smaller you get the field, now I'm not saying go down to 60 or something. You're getting a little crazy, but like 80 guys is. I think maybe they want to decrease it to maybe start doing something with these payouts. Like maybe that's what's coming. Like maybe nobody's looking at that far ahead yet. I think maybe they want to start trying to get everyone paid.
That's been the argument in the sport, and you and I have had this conversation every time we get in an episode.
I could be wrong, but my guess is if you're going to lower the field, that would make sense. Like it would make sense for maybe they're trying to find a way to get everyone
gets paid.
Yeah, that's a guess. I don't know.
Makes sense.
It's such a tough subject. I'm back and forth on this every day.
Yeah, my mood changes on it all the time as well. I think we should back up and kind of talk about where the Opens. I mean, the Opens is, we've talked about this before, that probably the stoutest field in bass fishing right now, in my opinion.
A lot of the elites we just had Lee Livesey on.
Yeah.
And we talked a little bit about that.
It is, I mean, you have elite guys that are fishing Opens, not only to increase their chances for qualification for the Classic, but also to increase their chance for double qualification through a division or all of them. I can't imagine fishing 18 events. I mean, all Opens and all elites. Woof.
Yeah,
that's a busy year. But so you have the elite guys, then you have Opens pros. Guys have been doing it for 10 years that are hammers and have come close or maybe have made it and got bumped out. Now they're back into trying to qualify. And then you have pro circuit guys, MLF guys that are wanting to keep their options open.
And then you have local guys that try to jump in.
And then the best of the best from the lakes. So it is the stoutest field.
But now, while we're on that, I think that's kind of one of Bass's points too. Is like these regional guys, they're gonna kind of get persuaded to be cut out of this.
The jackpotters, you mean?
Yeah,
yeah.
Like I think that's kind of their point too. Like I don't. It's hard to say. I think you're still gonna have some guys be able to get in that decide just to fish one division of the Opens. To still try to get that Classic berth, because I think that's still going to be there. Like, I think they're still going to allow you win one, you're still in.
Yeah. If
you fish 3 in your division. But I will say that's going to be cut short, really short, because the guys that are going to fish all 9 are going to get priority.
Yeah.
So if you just plan on fishing one division, it may be tough, even tougher to get in and doing that way.
So do you think the numbers are going to go down, or do you think they're going to stay the same?
Absolutely, they will go down.
Really?
Yeah. I don't see a full field every tournament.
So for those of you that haven't followed the Opens, I mean, basically it is very hard to get in, first of all. You either need to have fished them before. Lifetime member bass, there's priorities, and then they have priority entry for sponsors. You get a sponsor code for the few people that get that. So there is a waiting list, a long waiting list. So I'm curious if the numbers will actually go down. And they're filling 220-plus boats every tournament. 225, I think, is the max. Right?
I believe that's a full field. I don't know. I see it going down.
You're thinking in the overall it'll go down. So right now, what did you say that the other day? There's 83 that are fishing the overall this
83
year?
guys fishing the overall this year. They will have more than that.
So you don't think there'll be 220 guys
per open
fish all 9 events?
Oh, no. No, you're not going to have 220 guys fish
next year?
9 tournaments.
Really?
No.
If that's their best chance, if that's the only way to qualify, you don't think you'll have 220 guys step up?
Nope. Dude, it's just not doable for everybody.
It's a lot.
That is a lot. And look, I'm not trying to sit here and say I disagree with it. I can't. Now that I've had time to reflect on it, like I said, I can't say I disagree, but I can't say I do agree. I'm so stuck right now in it. Because to be honest with you, if I'm going to look at it from my view, you know,
yeah,
a guy who and trust me, they're doing it for these kind of guys. Like they are. This is what they're doing. Guys that are like full-time fishing, that is it. Like they pushed all in and that is their goal. They don't have this going on or this going on. Like this is all they do. And I'm that way.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I think the opens are for now. Like I think that now after that, this whole time I've been sold on this, sold on this dream from Bassmaster that anyone could do it. That anybody, I mean, and I think we can all agree that we've been told that from them for a long, long time. That anyone from anywhere can do it. And I'm not saying that you still can't, but man, they just made it pretty tough on some people. Like some people that can't be in the situation that I am in life. Like I'm not married. I don't have any kids. I can afford to go broke. I'm young. Like if I was to go crap the bed, you know, and not make it, like it's okay. I don't have anybody dependent on me. These guys at home with kids and family, good jobs, maybe business owners. Guys that, like I said, probably can afford it. It's just the time, you know.
Yeah, time away from, you know, like we said, their jobs at home, their families at home, other responsibilities.
I feel like, in a way, Bassmaster kind of just, I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's already been dang hard.
It's very hard.
And now they just made it real hard on those guys. And that is true. You can't deny that. That's true. That made it tough on them people.
Yeah.
For sure.
For sure. If you're a guy that there's no possible way, just time, not even the money side of the time, you just cannot take 9 weeks. Let's just say 9 weeks alone.
Yep.
Don't even count those northern events. It's 2 days of travel.
Even as
so now you're on a 10-day vacation.
Even as a business owner.
Yeah.
You can't take 9 weeks away from your company.
No, it's going to be tough.
Now, I will say one more thing, the flip side of that argument. I think Bassmaster would kind of agree on this. Not everybody can be an Elite Series pro. Like, maybe it just ain't meant for you if you're in certain situations. Like, and I ain't even saying it's meant for me or anybody else in my situation that pushes all in for the fishing deal. Maybe it just ain't meant for you. You know, professional football ain't meant for everybody. Professional baseball ain't meant for everybody.
No.
I think that's one thing people need to at least kind of look at it from that point of view. Like, it ain't for everybody. It's called the elites. I mean, there's only 90 of them.
Yeah.
From around the world, man. So it's
a big deal for sure to make it that. Another point on the money thing, and we were talking about this at lunch, the payout. So an entry fee is $1,800. They haven't announced any increase. I hope that's not coming.
Oh my gosh,
it could.
Please don't do that.
So if you compare an elite tour, okay, the entry fee is higher. What's the entry fee on an elite event?
Elite?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I don't know. I want to say
35.
No, I want to say it's 5, but I could be totally wrong.
Surprised we don't know that. We should. But so the open is $1,800. What I'm getting at is the payout in the open versus an elite event. First of all, in the elite event, yes, it's higher, but you're also fishing for $100,000 for first. Mm-hmm. They pay down a little deeper.
The elites,
especially percentage. Well, yeah, they pay 50-something places out of 90.
Yeah.
The opens, it's 40.
40.
It's 40 places. Whether there's 150 boats, which is what they post their payout, is 150 based on 150 boats. They've been getting 220 every time. What did we look? 3450 was 40th place check. I mean, that's quite a few actually. It was
Yeah.
Quite a few checks up. So if $1,800 and you got $2,000 in travel, that's calling it conservative.
That's so conservative.
It's probably more.
Yeah.
So let's just round up to $4,000 entry fee and travel.
Yeah, you ain't covering.
If you just cut a check from 20th to 40th, you don't even break even.
No.
And then the other financial thing on the sponsorship side, and this is where I hope the industry and Bass and whoever can help these guys out. How do you go to a sponsor and convince them to pay you? I mean, we all know when you get to the elite level, the pro level, things get better, right?
Better. It's not given.
It's not given. You still have to earn it. Like Lee said, you still have to go out there and earn it.
Yep.
Bass gives you a platform to go and sell your brand. And your worth definitely increases once you qualify for the elites. My question is, and the challenge I think people are going to see is, all right, let's say you want to commit to going fishing all opens. The financial burden is pretty heavy. How are these sponsors? You say, look, I'm fishing the opens in hopes to qualify for the elites. I mean, are the sponsors going to step up and help these guys out? Which I think a lot of them do. I think some guys do pretty well on sponsorship at the opens level, but I could see that being a challenge. People saying, well, call me when you qualify.
Yeah. I don't know. After listening to Lee, it sounds like it's a lot more based on you, man. Like,
sure, but you're not at the elite level yet.
No, you're not. But
the elites get a ton of exposure, especially when you're doing well.
There's I think the fishing industry sponsors come after you a little bit harder, but I think the non-endemic, like, those are like kind of based on you. And like hustling and
sure, and
trying to make connections and becoming more marketable. And I think a lot, now I could be totally wrong, but in my opinion, that's when the fishing industry guys come after you, is when you're kind of on the elites. And
yeah,
and I ain't saying they don't pay, because I know some guys get paid from them, from some of these bait companies, rod companies, or whatever. But I see what you're saying. It's such a tough deal, dude. I'm so torn on it. Like,
I mean, you're gonna need sponsors. I mean, I know you're going to have to raise some kind of money to go and fish the opens. I mean, good for you if you don't.
Yes.
Good for you if you can
float
your own way.
There's going to be people that don't.
And you can compete.
There's going to be people that – I've seen a lot of comments on Daddy's Money. Gonna be some young guys there that get their way paid from their mom or dad or whatever.
There'll be a good percentage of those guys.
I don't think it'll be as many as people think, though.
No, but that doesn't necessarily mean they can compete. Not saying your kid's not good at fishing.
That's not what we're saying.
Upset.
Yeah.
No.
I'm just saying there's so much that revolves around this, man. It's such a – that's why you can just hear from me. I'm trying to look at the good here, and I'm trying to look at the bad. Like, I'm not trying to
I mean, we're all over the place in this episode. That's
because it is
how we feel about it.
It is. This is how I feel. It's really tough. And to be honest, I think like I alluded to earlier, I think a guy like me or some of these guys that have put themselves in a situation to where they are fishing full time, it is more beneficial for us, because now and look, I'm not fishing. I'm not. So I'm just saying guys like that, and there is quite a bit. I think a lot of the guys you see fishing professionally now, at some point in their life, they had to kind of make a push all in there and not worry about anything else. I think it is definitely an advantage,
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. I think because it's going to cut off. It's like we just talked about. It's going to cut off some of that local pressure. It's going to cut some of the guys that aren't all in.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's for better or worse. I don't know.
So do you think the divisions will fill up there'll be 220, but it won't necessarily be 220 guys fishing all nine?
Possible. That's possible. Probably not. Because how many guys are going to say, what's the value of me just fishing one division now? You're telling me that
you're basically going for a win for the Classic.
How many guys are truly going to do that, though?
The payout's not good enough to go and make any money. I'm just kidding. That's just my opinion.
No, it's not about money.
I don't think the payout's good enough to go and make money in a divisional trail. I mean, yeah, the opens. I don't think it's ever been about making money at that level.
There's money there to keep you going.
Yeah, I mean, you do well in all of them, which you have to qualify.
Correct.
You've had a decent year.
You did.
You know, but it's
not. You do not fish the opens.
You're not making
to make
a
money.
living.
You do not fish the opens to make money.
Even if you're paying your way. I mean, you got to win all of them.
Which is no one's ever done.
No. Not in the opens.
No. I don't think anyone's
Has
ever
anybody been a multiple winner in
1 year?
Yeah.
That's interesting. I doubt it.
Woo.
Possibly, though.
Somebody's going to pull a Ray
Nick
Hanselman.
LeBrun almost did it.
Hey, got the hot hand, bro.
Nick LeBrun almost did it. He went 1-2 last year.
Yeah. Well, he got second at Ross Barnett this year, didn't he?
Yeah. Didn't he go 1-2 last year, too? He won.
Yeah. He won. He got second at Smith Lake that Prosnick won.
$1,000.
And then he won grand.
And he got like 88th and didn't make it.
That's why you cannot in the divisionals. Traditionally, you cannot slip up.
No, and 88th out of 225 is not a huge slip up.
No, it's not. You're finishing the top half of the field.
88,
he finished in the top half of the field.
Yeah.
You cannot, and that's not even a bomb. You have to cut a check in every event. Traditionally in the divisional, I'll be curious to see what it takes to make it in the top 9. Can you afford to bomb one?
Yes.
You think so?
Yes. The guys that fish all 9 right now, they do.
Yeah.
Now, when I say bomb, I don't mean you finish 200th.
No.
I mean you finish 100th.
Can you finish in the bottom half of the field? Below 100th place.
If you go ball out the next few, maybe.
You got to go win them all.
I don't know that with 9. I'm looking at the overalls right now, and I'm seeing the guys in the top 3 from the overalls, and
I hadn't even paid attention.
I kind of keep up with it.
So I want to touch on another theory, and this is totally speculative.
I hope you ain't about to say the theory. I think
About the MLF?
Yeah.
I'm going to say it. This is the juice. I'm just going to say it. This thought did cross my mind. It could be totally ridiculous.
Not a bad idea.
People are going to say I'm stupid.
Not a bad idea here.
But there's been some battling because I've wanted to fish – the last couple of years I've wanted to fish the Central Division of the Opens and our division of the Toyota Series. Every year there's a conflict. You have to make a decision. You cannot fish both.
Not this year, though.
So I'm wondering if maybe, just maybe, there's a small part of them is like if we make these guys fish all 9, we're separating the guys that are not necessarily 100% committed to bass. They're trying to see which one feels right for them. You know, maybe that eliminates. So maybe there'll be some conflicts because bass is always the last one to release their schedule.
Yeah, bass.
They're always the last one.
Nobody's thinking about that. Bass might be a little sneaky snake in the grass.
I think that could just be a bonus. I'm not saying that was like a malicious intention, but they
definitely like it.
It's a bonus. It's like, oh, well, sorry that we put that on top of your Toyota Series or your Pro Circuit event.
Yep, and I was just fixing to get into that. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that
how many conflicting dates you think there'll be? How many Pro Circuit guys right now are fishing opens trying to qualify for the Elite?
So many. Dude, there's going to be a Pro Circuit guy or 2 or however many that don't fish the Pro Circuit and go fish all 9 opens. And they're going to drop out of the Pro Circuit and they're going to go do that.
A small part of you had that thought across your mind.
Oh, absolutely. I'm still torn. Like it's still.
But back to the sponsorship thing.
Yeah. So what we're basically talking about is, like I'm in a pickle here. I think some other guys are too. I just qualified for the Pro Circuit, and but it's not the highest level of the sport on the MLS side. There's a higher level, but it's still a professional circuit. You're still fishing for $100,000 every tournament, and a lot of guys are in this situation. I mean, 100 whatever guys are fixing to be in a situation on the Pro Circuit, and it puts you in a weird position because if you ever wanted it, now some of these guys on the Pro Circuit may just be, that's where they want to be. Like, this is it. Like, this is where I want to be. I want to go to VPT. That's my deal. But for a guy that wanted to go to the Elites, now I'll be honest, I was going to fish the Pro Circuit next year and fish a division of the Opens.
That was your plan?
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Not going to happen. I don't think I can fish the Pro Circuit and fish all 9 Opens.
Oh, I guarantee you can. I guarantee there's a conflict.
I think it's going to be impossible, I think.
Even if there's not a conflict, what you're saying is the timeline.
Yeah, and
the
and
demand.
the money.
How many Pro Circuit? There's 6 Pro Circuit events?
Yeah, so honestly, I was going to bring this up while we were talking about this. The working man's better off going to the MLF Pro Circuit than going to the dang Opens. There's only 6 events. Several of those.
Well, you got to qualify. you know, the opens you don't have to qualify. I mean, obviously you got to get in. There's gonna be a list
qualify
for the opens.
Yeah, but that's how you get to the elites. I'm saying you get to the pro circuit through the Toyotas.
Yeah,
but the Toyotas allow you to fish one division,
and
they have more divisions.
They have a lot more divisions.
So that's generally trying to focus more on like really localized.
So I mean, is it fair to say that it's easier to qualify for the pro circuit?
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's less competition for sure. I mean, you look at the numbers of the Toyota Series versus the Opens.
Yeah.
You're not fishing against as many guys, and there's multiple divisions, so the travel burden is far less.
Yeah.
You look at the Central Division this year in the Opens. You got Ross Barnett, which is in Mississippi.
Right.
And then you have
Red River,
which is Louisiana.
And then
Rayburn.
That's
not a huge travel burden, but
nuh-uh.
I mean, Ross Barnett's what, 8 hours?
Yeah.
7 hours?
No, I'm not going to sit here and say it's easy to get to the circuit by any means, but I'm just saying the Toyotas are easier than the Opens just because of the field size and
opportunities. There's more opportunities to qualify because there's more divisions.
Yep.
How many divisions are in the Toyota Series?
These are 6.
So double.
Mm-hmm.
And they take the top
5
instead of top 3.
5, 10, 15, 20, 20. There might
so
be 5.
Their turnover's high.
Might be 5.
So 5 and 5 is 25. They're turning over 25 guys every year?
Mm-hmm. I think so.
Wow.
But I don't, I don't even know how we got off on this tangent right now.
Well, no, it's a good tangent because it's a good way to compare for those that are thinking, do I want to go Bass or MLF?
MLF. Oh, that just opens up a whole new can right there.
I mean, if your goal, and I think this is a lot of guys, and this has been what a lot of people, including yourself, have been doing, is I want to fish professionally. There are 2 viable options, and I'm excluding the MPFL.
Yes.
Major League Fishing
and
Bassmaster. Pro Circuit or Bassmaster.
Yep.
And it's been possible over the last few years to fish both Toyota Series and Opens. Find little windows that you can fish all these, as many events as you can, give yourself a better opportunity to qualify. Now that's not really the case. Not really the case. The other thing
that's not the case at all.
I want to bring up is MLF, and I've always been kind of, if you had to make me pick between Bassmaster and MLF, I've always kind of leaned towards Bassmaster. Now, I would say that MLF may have been handed handed this because if you think about the path to become a professional angler, what prepares you for an open at the Bassmaster level? Yeah, you got Bass Nation events, but I mean, I wouldn't really compare that to like a BFL. And
you're saying like the Opens, Bassmaster saying the Opens prepare you to get to the elites, but what prepares you for the Opens?
Yeah. In MLF, you have the BFLs.
Oh, that's true.
Which then you can go fish the All-American. You qualify for regionals, and then you qualify for nationals and All-American. I do think the BFL is a good kind of entry level into fishing by yourself format. Yeah, you got a co-angler, but it is kind of a way of preparing yourself for a Toyota Series, and then you fish Toyota Series, and then the Pro
Bass
Circuit.
would say their college program.
Yeah, or their nation.
Yeah, that's probably would be their answer. It's not the same.
I just feel like there's a massive jump from nothing to opens.
Oh, 100%.
You
think? Yeah. Hey, that's one thing I'll say about what Bassmaster's doing. You think you're getting thrown to the wolves? Like, you're getting thrown to the wolves.
Hammers.
And then from the opens
to the elites,
you're getting thrown to the freaking Nile crocodiles, son. Like, you're getting thrown, and that's the truth. I will say that's one thing I can agree with. I see how it's preparing them. But I like your point there. MLF does really have a true, if you want to talk about grassroots system, I mean, MLF's got it.
A ladder system. If you look at the rungs on the ladder to go from grassroots to semi-pro to pro to BPT, there's a visible path.
Clear path.
Where I feel like Bass's ladder, their first rung is pretty freaking high.
It is, actually.
You better be ready. Matter of fact, in my opinion, I think if you're thinking about going to the opens, fish some Toyota Series. Get some of those under your belt, and then go fish an open. To me, just fishing, comparing the two, I just feel like the open.
I mean, it's the same guys, to be honest. Like, your open guys fish the Toyotas too.
It's true.
The Toyota guys fish the opens. It's not.
But they all come together. Then you mix in the elites and the opens.
Yep, and the elites fish Toyotas too, though.
They do.
So it's. I'm not gonna sit here. I'm not gonna sit here and say at all that the Opens are on that much higher of a level than the Toyotas.
I will.
I don't think it's that. I mean, I fished them both.
Yeah.
I think it's just it's the field size.
Well,
dude.
the field size, but now you've doubled your Toyota Series field size with that many more hammers.
Oh, and the Toyota entries are fixing to skyrocket.
Are they?
Yeah, that's happening. What Bassmaster just did was help MLF out.
I think so. I think you're going to see some guys switch over from the Opens to the Toyota Series.
Oh no, I already know. Like it's all. I've read so many comments like that. I have so many buddies that are fresh out of college, and that's all they've wanted was to go fish the Opens, but they're freaking broke from college, and
they're
now
like, no way.
They're like, well, I was going to fish a division of the Opens, division Toyotas. Now they can't even do it. They don't see the point in doing it. So now they're going to go all Toyotas, and
fish 2 or 3 divisions of those.
I don't blame them.
What are the entry fee going to?
What?
So you said Toyota Series is going up.
No, they're 1,800.
Oh, I thought you said they're about to skyrocket.
No, I'm talking about the entry.
Number of
entries.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying entry fee. I was
No.
like,
The number of entries are, dude. The Toyota's gonna be rocking. Like I'm glad I qualified for the pro circuit when I did.
Field.
They're gonna be rocking.
Yeah.
And all the number of boats does is make it tougher on
It does.
on everybody.
It does.
On everybody.
Yeah.
But like I don't know. It just puts me in a weird spot. I'm gonna say that the main reason I'm not gonna fish for me, the main reason I'm not gonna go fish the Opens, and I'm gonna accept the invite to go to the pro circuit, is because I feel like I'm taking a step backwards if I do that.
What if there is no conflicting schedule? You gonna try it?
There's no. But dude, the money is ridiculous. You're telling me I gotta pay $35,000 in pro tour entries. I gotta pay $16,000 in the open entries. Another 20, probably 25,000 for the Opens in travel cost.
Ain't no thing for you,
dude. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Joe Canyon didn't pay that dang much, son.
Yeah.
But seriously, dude, that's next level. That's next level money right there. That's not possible for not only me, for I would say 90% of any guy fishing the pro circuit. I'm telling you, that goes back when you're looking at fishing both and you start adding up all the numbers. You're like, yeah, that goes back to what you were just saying. Bass just kind of drew a line in the sand, said, "You want to come over here?
You want to be an Elite Series pro, or do you want to be a MLF pro? MLFer.
Seriously." Now, one thing that we need to talk about that we haven't brought up yet is if Bassmaster is using this, and they are going to be called the Opens EQ, Opens Elite Series Qualifier. So that's what they are.
Does that change things?
Yeah, EQ. So if EQ something light, if you're gonna do this to prepare your anglers for the elites, right?
Uh-huh.
Are you gonna take us to some lakes?
Oh,
because the Opens have done nothing but take a crap on these guys, dude. Seriously, the Open schedule, they do not go where the elites go. So if you're gonna do this, I want to know: are these 9 tournaments? Are you gonna go to fisheries that the elites actually go to?
Good fisheries, and they don't even have to be the same lakes. Obviously, they can't do that because of no information rules and having guys. Logistically, that'd be a nightmare for them scheduling because they're going to have elite guys in there, and you can't take them to a lake they're already going to go to in their off limits, and then there's rules. But once the schedule release, can't have somebody in the boat with you.
Go to where they've been in the last 5 years then.
At least go to good fisheries. Nobody, and I'm sorry for the locals at Red River and Ross Barnett.
Yeah.
Nobody who enjoys fishing wants to go there.
Yeah, when's the last time the elites been to Ross Barnett and the Red River?
They used to go to Red River until it started, and even then they went there to spawn.
Long time. I want to know how me fishing Ross Barnett is preparing me for Lake Fork that they fished this year.
Yeah,
I want to know how the Red River is preparing me for. Do you see what I'm saying? It's not. You're not preparing them for nothing. For nothing.
No, they take you to these grinder events, and I mean grinder events.
What?
Our thing fell down again.
Dude, it fell this time.
Yeah, that looks so stupid.
Where are we at here, dude?
Man, we've been flapping our jaws for about
gosh.
40 minutes.
Golly.
I apologize about this episode. I know we were all over the place, but we just kind of wanted to talk it out loud. Hopefully give you guys some kind of viewpoints that we have.
I'm trying to think if we forgot anything here.
No, I think that was the last thing was the lakes, man. The open schedule, they go to some pretty tough lakes, some pretty tough fisheries where, you catch 5 for 12 every day, you're in the top 10. Unless you bring Lee Livesey and he catches 26 out of Ross Barnett. What the hell is that?
Very true. Very true. Well, see, he's already an Elite Series pro. He's been ready.
Oh, he's ready.
He stays ready.
He stays ready.
I guess that's it. I mean, I don't know. That was kind
so
of wild.
I don't want anybody in here to think that this is a Bassmaster bashing session. It's not, because I'm still.
No, I spoke good. We spoke good about him several times.
I love the Bassmaster organization. I like the MLF organization. I'm not sure whether I agree or disagree. I really don't know how I feel. That's why we're in here just trying to talk it out. Post this and just see what everybody comes up with. Be curious to see y'all's comments. I mean, throw some comments up there and throw your arguments. If we miss something, I'm not sure, man. Shoot, I may go fish them.
Yeah, Shane might be saddling up for all 9. Why it will not be? I will not be.
Well,
But
I don't know.
maybe if I hadn't qualified.
It's a tough call.
Yep. I can't. Like I said, I feel like
Sure
I
you can.
feel like I'm taking a step back if I do it.
You can do it.
I'm gonna go swing for 100,000.
You can do it.
So
It's only 6 and 9.
I'll leave you with that.
Yeah, we should probably wrap this up.
They're
I'm
gonna
sure
conflict anyway.
everybody's already clicked off of it about 20 minutes.
Yeah, we're gonna go back and listen to this. We might redo it.
No, it's good, man. We put some good arguments.
Well,
we're kind of
we'll
all
see.
over the place. It's hard to follow.
We've
the
never
bouncing ball.
redone it. We've never redone a podcast except for with Dakota Bear. That's the one we've ever redone.
And the one with Casey Sobzak where I didn't record the first 15 minutes.
Yeah, but seriously,
No, this is fine. That's what this is about. We're just kind of hashing some things out, kind of sharing our thoughts and opinions and feelings, and we want to hear from you guys. What you guys think?
till next time.
Till next time.